Hello, everyone!
Hello, hello.
Hi! Welcome back to the Spirit Bubble with Kara.
Awkward pause, and this is Alma.
Yes! I know, right? It's I love it when we sit here and we dive into it and we get those little hiccups and stuff. It just makes such a natural.
It's real. Those things happen, and they really are, just a natural part of life. And, I love it because you just flow with it and you go with it.
Right, and I love that we present such a raw presentation. I feel like we're giving our genuine selves when we do that.
Absolutely, because we have a love of what we bring to the table. So we are naturally accepting that whatever happens, it's meant to be. And that's what we're willing to share.
Absolutely. Speaking of which, basically, this is kind of what we're diving into today. I know a lot of times, a lot of our topics tend to come back to love. We're constantly saying, bottom line, love, 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 all the time. And so today, the purpose of our revisit, I would say, would be essentially reminding people in this world right now with everyone's unique situations and the chaotic situations of the world events and stuff, reminding ourselves what is unconditional love and how can unconditional love help us get through these times and remind us where we need to be in them.
I think that's wonderful. And I love that we are diving into a discussion on reflections on such thoughts as unconditional love. Because you're right, with the way things are in present moment times, there is nothing that's needed more than unconditional love and acceptance. But it's more than just a trigger word and some catchy phrase to get people's attention. It's a loving energy that's really needed to share with people in time and energy to make a difference in the lives of people in need, right? It's
Yeah.
something we have to give. And so it's great that we're going to dive in and start talking about this because I really feel like it's a struggle for a lot of people to believe in unconditional love, let alone
Right.
understand what it is.
Right. Well, the thing is, if you don't understand what unconditional love is, if you've never experienced unconditional love, how are you going to deliver it? It's like saying, okay, well, I've never learned how to do any mechanic work, but here, let me work on this car. Like, it's not going to work like that. You have to have some example or resource in order to be able to understand really what that is. So I think, like in our circumstances, despite some of the little hiccups that we have in our life, we have seen some form of that eventually in that timeline.
Absolutely. We have witnessed the blessing of what unconditional love is. And in having witnessed the truth of its existence, we can share that it exists with others. It's a gift of our being to
Mm.
be able to share with others unconditional love and acceptance. And that's something that is just like magic to get to witness. And so I I know in this present moment time I am feeling an abundance of energy that's connected to unconditional love and acceptance.
Yeah.
You know, it's like this cosmic wave of energy is just boosting my mood and energy levels and just the need to connect to people. Like I'm
Mm.
on just soaring and it's amazing because I feel like that's the cosmos saying it's time. It's time to let people know unconditional love is the answer.
Right. And it's so interesting too that you mentioned cosmic because I think that's something else that we had thought on as well prior was that okay, you have essentially there are like two levels, right? You have a cosmic unconditional love and that's going to exist no matter what. That's We are all the universe's creation, and so therefore the universe is going to give us that love no matter what. But what about us as humans on earth? The earthly unconditional love. Because, we're not perfect. We go through things that hurt us, mar us, scar us. We get denied experience of things that other people get. And that can affect how we carry that forward and express that to others. Is what we are expressing in our personal lives unconditional love on the same level that the cosmic universe would want us to show?
That is a wonderful question and something I believe each and every one of us should be asking ourselves in every moment. Are we giving unconditional love and acceptance to the person before us in every moment we come to? When we find someone in need, like, are we sharing a reflection of the cosmic love we know is real? We are reflections of the cosmos, right?
Mm.
And as such, we are reflections of that divine love. So it should be effortless and easy to share that love with anyone we meet. But like you said, we're human. We're not perfect. So we're
Mm.
going to struggle and have
Yeah.
to consider how we share the love that is natural to us. We all make personal choices, and how we choose to share our time and energy is perhaps the most important choices we'll make in our life. And I think, by and large, for those that choose love as the most important choice in their
Yeah.
moments, they're going to lead a more fulfilled life and be able to touch more lives with their energy than those who choose otherwise.
Right. Because it rubs off. It's like love is the light, right? If we choose to shine, people will see that light. They might see a little bit clearer, not as clear as we have in our experiences, but they might see a little bit clearer because they have a little bit of that light. Whereas if we shut it off and we keep it in the dark, how are they supposed to see ahead of them? How are they supposed to see what we're trying to express, what we're trying to say, what life is trying to teach?
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's why I come back to love. It guides without telling you what to think. It helps without hurting, right? It's a gentle presence in so many moments that it makes sharing it effortless, you know?
Yeah.
So I I think earthly unconditional love, once you believe it's possible and you make the choice to really commit yourself to sharing it freely with others, it makes you feel good to want to connect with others on that level. And that
Yeah.
feeling of feeling good about yourself continues to fuel that fire to share with others. And so it feeds itself, and you keep giving. And so it just lights the fire for others to feel that wonder in the world.
Now, some people might probably say that some people don't deserve that kind of thing. Like, let's say if someone had done something so physically or mentally harmful to us, they might want to scorn that person instead. There might not be an inspiration to give love and be like, "Oh, it's okay, you hit me, but I love you anyway." Like the line there. I guess you could say that it would be a different expression of love. Rather than saying, "Oh, it's okay, dear, I love you," an expression of the unconditional love might be teaching them what was wrong about that situation and just trying to stay positive while still being willing to defend yourself, because it shows an example of, okay, you hurt me in this way and I still care, but I'm telling you this because I love you.
Absolutely. You explain that beautifully. That's a living example of how we can love somebody that hurts us and still stay in their life even though we know they might not be the living example of who we need them to be for us, because not everybody is perfect, and not everybody is going to have a shining example of the perfect love we
Yeah.
most hope for. And that doesn't make them unworthy of love and attention. That just makes them someone that we have to work hard to love in the way they need. Unconditional
Hmm.
love helps with that because it accepts them for who they are and still sees them in the light of love that sees us all as equals and
Hmm.
worthy of love.
Yeah. I mean, like if your child was in the store and demanding this toy, you would think that, oh, if I love my child, I'll buy them this. But guess what? In the denial of a situation where it's not ideal to do that, you're teaching them the limits that they're going to use later. And that's a love of life. That's a love of teaching how to live in life. And that in itself is a whole different level too.
Absolutely. You don't have to give in to bad behavior to be loving. That's not what I'm advocating. You
Right.
can teach people how to love properly by showing them and admonishing them when their bad behavior hurts you. But you don't have to run away and shun them and
Yeah.
abandon them because they can't love healthily. Teach them, love them
Right.
whole so they can love better in the future, so they don't have to be alone and abandoned because
Yeah.
nobody wants to be rejected for the love they didn't know how to give.
Yeah, investing your time and your wisdom. I think that would basically be what that would be akin to, is investing your time and your wisdom, something that's going to benefit them later on down the line.
And I think that might be a good word, investing, giving yourself to the benefit of somebody else,
Yeah.
even when the payout isn't immediate. And in our world, that's a struggle for many because we're looking for immediate payouts like instant gratification.
Mm-hmm.
And unconditional love is a
It doesn't seek
lasting
that.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Unconditional
it's an
love does not
eternal reward.
seek. Yeah, it doesn't seek
No.
instant gratification. It doesn't seek instant reward or instant appraise. The things that we do with unconditional love, depending on what the situation, is always going to be what we realize is best for that person. And it could be giving them encouraging words, or it could be stopping them from doing something that they think that they want, but is going to hurt them. Yeah, it affected them later, in that moment. It was like, no, why can't I do this? You stopped me. But you know what? That's because I knew it wasn't good for you, and I'm doing it because I love you.
Exactly, exactly. Helping them to better themselves when they don't know how to do it for themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Loving
Yeah.
them enough to be a gentle presence in the moment that helps them realize, hey, they're not their best selves right now.
Right. And when someone is close to the same stage in life that you are, but they're not spiritually in the same level as you are, but you decide to stay with them anyway, that's because we see hope in them. We see love in them. We care enough to be like, you know what? I know you're not where I am right now. I know we're not on the same page of things, but I love you, and I'm going to stick through this to try to help you through wherever you are in your journey.
And that is an amazing choice and commitment to make to another person. To see
Mm-hmm.
them for who they are and where they are in their present moment time and accept and love them without needing them to change. That's that's true love. That's the
Mm-hmm.
kind of love that we need more of. More people sharing in that kind of love and freedom to be.
Yeah, absolutely. It can be tough to give love to people like that who just aren't on the same page as you. Some who might defy your ideals versus theirs, it's tough to love people like that. It's tough to stay with people like that because we want everything to run and sail so smoothly that we never have any issues. But the thing is, it is in those moments that we are gifted to teach them and to be the example, no matter how long it takes for them to even realize that's what it was the whole time, you know?
You know, it inspired in me as you were talking the idea that earthly love is a living lesson that we are constantly learning in every
Ah,
moment. It's just the chance to repeatedly remind ourselves how to love better. The
mm,
ones that come to earth knowing how to give it freely, the ones that come to earth broken and not so freely sharing. We all play a part in the lesson of learning to love better. And so, wherever you fall on the spectrum of love and how you accept it and or reject it, let it be known that you are playing a part to understand that love helps us all in a
yeah,
grand cosmic way and on
yeah.
an earthly human way. And so it's great to find ways to connect to it.
Yeah, and I know I had mentioned it on another one of the videos, but just as a reminder, just in case you guys hadn't seen it or remember, um, when I was watching like some other YouTube podcast from people who recall their experiences of their spiritual selves versus their life here and trying to pursue purpose and stuff, you know, there are multiple people in those videos that will tell you that their purpose here on earth was to love.
Isn't that amazing that people are
Mm-hmm.
incarnating in this now moment with no other calling other than to share love?
Uh-huh.
Just peoples whose whole vibration is nothing more than love. That's just beautiful because in a world that is like drowning in people who need attention and affection and understanding, we need more people that want to love. And the world is popping up
Mm-hmm.
with them all over the place.
Yeah,
It's
yes.
wonderful.
Yes, it's so nice and it's so interesting how that realization manifests in each of our individual lives. It's just, I mean, like your journey versus my journey versus that YouTuber's journey, you know. No matter how it is that you even come to that realization, you know, it just always boils down to that, you know. Like if you love this person, if you want to show love to this situation, this individual, what is the best way that you can do that that's most beneficial to them, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. It that's that's what any good moment is asking you. What was that?
It was that was my table. I have like a little metal piece where the keyboard, like a little keyboard thing, is supposed to be able to slide out, and like
Oh,
my hand, like flicked it and it sprung. I'm like, oh, I know that was heard on the video.
yeah, I got that. No worries.
Oh my word. Bang. Oh my
Love it.
word. Yes. Oh my word. But yeah, you guys, it's just, you know, everything in this world, every interaction that we make with people is meant to be in unconditional love. I mean, whether it's something where you have to deny them something which would shed light to a lesson, or whether it's sticking by their side when they're not quite on the same level as you are, and just knowing that eventually they'll get around to better, knowing that your presence, that your light, that your love was something that was able to help lift them just a little bit higher, you know. It's better than just walking away and not doing anything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I was just talking to someone who was kind of spiraling about the kind of person they are. And they they had stated that if there was a homeless person and asking them for money, they wouldn't help them. And I I didn't pass judgment on that statement, but they passed judgment on themselves for the choice they would make in that
uh,
situation. And so I reflected on their judgment of themselves and flowed words. But I think that's something we all could use a little of. Reflecting on the choice of how often we choose to give love to others.
yeah.
You know, because we have time and we have energy, and there's only so much of it in a day. If there's someone
Mm.
in need and it crosses your now moment, do you choose to give your time and energy to that person in need? Or do you find words and reasons for why this now moment isn't the time to help? And I think that's what we should all be asking ourselves. What are we doing more of? Helping or finding words for reasons to not help? And
Yeah.
the more we find reasons to help, the closer we get to unconditional love and acceptance.
Right. Shed the excuses. Let those excuses go. You know what's right. You just need to listen to that. Let love tell you what is right. No matter what the
Absolutely.
no matter what the circumstance, no matter how someone is behaving towards you, no matter what happened in that time, whatever choice that you make it out of unconditional love. And that's going to shed the light that they need in that time. Yeah,
Absolutely. Let love be the light in the moment.
yeah,
It's pretty
absolutely.
it's pretty easy.
Yeah, yeah. But you guys, if you have any stories about where like you shared that unconditional love and you were able to see what bloomed out of it, I'd love to know what you guys were able to help inspire. Share us your stories, share us your ideas. If you have a comment or a suggestion or something that you'd like to add on to the discussion, we'd love to hear it.
Yes, we would. Just leave it down below, and we can't wait to dive into discussion about what your experiences have been with unconditional love and acceptance.
Yes, absolutely. So until the next video, we will see you in the comment section below. And y'all have a great day.